welcome back to the Triple J Show, brought to you by...
I had nothing planned. You just kind of put me on the spot right there, so I don't know.
I gotta fill it in.
Why do you gotta fill it in?
What are you drinking?
It's the Triple J Show.
Kombucha? What is that?
I think it's pronounced Kavita.
Kabita. Because when you're too pussy to drink alcohol, there's Kabita.
Again, we can't keep putting in advertisements when we don't have sponsorship.
Whoa, what are they gonna do? Sue us? Oh, change this.
You know, we should say we should start.
This podcast is brought to you by.
No. We should start with the product that we're drinking or eating and say we're sponsoring them because technically we are because we bought it. And this is brought to you by the Triple J Show. Oh,
I don't know about that because
that's clever, no?
Well, because like the things we're drinking are already like major sponsorships.
But I'm saying we're sponsoring them because I paid for it. Let me start off by saying thank you guys for clicking in and listening to us. My name is Jose.
Oh, you're pointing at me.
To my left is
Jermaine.
And then our other J is
James.
And this is the Triple J Show. And today we're going to be talking about, Jermaine, you know what? Give the spiel. I feel like you know more about this than I do.
All I can say is dun 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 dun.
I think you already screwed that up.
Mortal Kombat.
I think you did it for legal reasons.
Probably.
Also, that's another song. I believe it or not, I listened to a lot of like techno and like electronica back in the day. So like
I did a lot of drugs to the Mortal Kombat song, so I know how it's supposed to go.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a lot of people sampled Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say also, I had back in the day because I'm old. I used to have a tape deck, and I used to listen to the OG music soundtrack on tape till I wore it out.
Can I have a question?
Yeah.
What is tape deck?
Okay, so you know how before there was CDs?
Yes.
What are CDs?
You shut your filthy mouth. You're not that much old.
Wait, is that another word for cassette? Not CDs. I'm saying the whatever.
Oh, you legit don't know what a tape deck is?
No, is that a cassette?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking douche. Just say cassette, asshole.
That was the first thing that came to mind. It's not my fault.
I thought you were doing like a bit right now. I was like, oh no, he really doesn't know what a tape deck is.
Just like cassette, asshole.
Yeah. So anyway, I had the OG cassette where you could hear both sides, and I played it so many times. But I also doubled down, and I also had the what was it, Kevin McAllister from Home Alone 2 recorder thing, and so I would often like open it and like slow down certain tracks and stuff just to see what they would sound like. But yeah, I wore that tape out,
and then I played it in reverse and found out it was a demon talking to me.
It sounds like a demon talking to you the regular way.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Sonya. Luke Cage or Johnny Cage.
Is that really how the song goes?
Yeah, they said the names.
That's how it goes.
Saying names.
Yeah.
Well, only the original 7, because in the original game it was.
No, I'm not talking about the games. I'm talking about.
I know. I'm talking about.
No. But that's how they presented
the names,
it.
They only said the names that were. It was Sonya, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Kano, and Raiden.
Yeah,
so
it was literally like your '90s era EDM kind of stuff with just some guy in the background being like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang.
I think we did that bit though for one of our Let's Plays already too. So
yeah, but that one came out really good. I remember we ended up.
Are you talking about that cage on cage action?
I don't know if that was.
I mean, I'm sure it was part of that Let's Play because it was Mortal Kombat, but it was on one of those episodes.
I checked this. Still, the most watched Let's Play, almost to 1,000 views.
You
people who clicked on cage porn, thinking
nasty,
thinking
nasty,
dirty. But if you haven't checked it out, go on Random Theory and check it out.
Good, it worked.
I'm just saying, y'all need help, but also click on the site.
Yeah. So getting back to Mortal Kombat, and so we're gonna talk about the original movie, but before we get into the original movie, we have to talk about the trailer.
I figured
we're talking about the 2 original movies.
Yes, right? We're talking about both.
We're talking about the first 2. Okay.
God. Are we actually talking about Annihilation?
Yes, we have to talk about Annihilation.
No, we can't.
I think we have to talk about how bad it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But before we talk about the bad, let's talk about some good. The Mortal Kombat trailer that dropped. I want to say last week. I don't know the time we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you just watched. Jose just saw it for the first time right now before we recorded.
Yes.
So thoughts?
I mean,
were you a fan back in the day?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Aesthetically, it looks cool because they have the budget behind it. So it's gonna look beautiful. I hope.
The '90s one.
At least the commercial was, but not the commercial, but the
trailer
was
the
trailer. I don't know. I mean, it didn't like wow me like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. Like the plot's gonna be super amazing. I feel like
it's everything you expect it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be like a 7.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's just like in the games. The plot is kind of just there, but it's you're playing more for the action than the actual plot. I think they realized this with the first movies. They're like, you know what? Fuck, forget the plot. It's all action. It's all gonna be like because that's what Mortal Kombat is. It's just the fatalities, the finishers, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing though. It just feels like a bunch of like fan bait. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, he said the thing. He said the thing. Like, but they never even talked about the tournament or what's going on. It just seems like it's gonna be like, can we talk about the new character, whoever the heck this guy's supposed to be,
or not supposed to be?
Cole, I forgot his last name, but Cole. Let's go with Cole for right now because
I've actually seen like a lot of pictures of him having Sub-Zero and like fire powers. Like I feel like they're trying to make him like an actual new character.
I think they're just making him more modern because from the trailer, I know when the rumors were originally when this movie was come out that he was going to be a boxer, and people hated it because they didn't want a new character as the main character. So I think they said they're going to kind of divert to that, so I think he's still going to be one of the main characters, but I hope the whole story is not just surrounded on him. But it looks like they're going more modern as he's a UFC fighter or MMA kind of fighter. Joining the tournament.
Yeah, it seemed like he was doing like Muay
All
Thai.
His Mortal Kombat fights just turn into ground games, and he's just trying to choke them out. It's super boring. It's just
everybody's it's just like Mortal Kombat. Dun, dun,
Joe Rogan in the background. Oh my god, I can't believe what we're seeing right now.
Great technique. Look how he's gonna hook his leg underneath.
But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he just ripped off his head. I don't know how the ref's gonna handle this one.
They're gonna have it zoomed in, but then like 2 seconds later they zoom out just to show how quiet it is, and it's just them going like, oh yeah, okay.
We did. And then, God!
Mortal Kombat's following COVID protocols. Like, there's no one in the crowd.
I mean, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are already wearing masks, so they're already forward. They're already COVID forward.
Come on, guys! Come on, there's a virus spreading. Why don't you put on a mask? Jeez.
Like it's like the main character gets up and he's just like, "Come on, let's do this." And like Scorpion's like, "Whoa, bro, where's your mask?"
Yes,
6 feet, man.
Scorpion extends his chain. Like, see, this is 6 feet right here.
This is
go at the end of the chain.
Right there. Don't come over here. Don't come over here.
I have a family. Oh wait, no, they got murdered. That's a different story.
That's dark.
That's well.
No. That's the backstory of Scorpion.
Yes, I know.
That's how the whole Scorpion Sub-Zero rivalry started. That their clans killed the Scorpion's clan, but it turned out that wasn't the case.
That's according to the game. We don't know what they're gonna do with the movies.
They never follow like what the game was in the movies, and that's why I like the. And I don't know if this is a good segue, but that's why I like the OG Mortal Kombat movie because it was just enough of a taste of everybody without getting too complicated.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's what made the movie good. Like I remember watching it when I was younger, thinking it was like, "Oh my god, this is a cool movie." Then I watched it as an adult, and I was like, "Wow, this is actually pretty bad."
Oh no, I leaned into the cheese, like straight up on my nachos, munching it down. I was like, this is the best movie ever. Your soul is mine. I remember driving away. I actually went to the mall. My folks, we went to like a dollar theater to watch it. Mm-hmm. And I remember as a kid, because at the end of Mortal Kombat, like, what's his name? Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
So he like shows his face in the clouds, and it's just like and then you get the classic Raiden line where it's just like, "I don't think so," and then his eyes are like,
oh yeah, all lightning.
Yeah. And then it's just like Mortal Kombat. I remember when we were driving away from the theater, I'm all like 5 years old or whatever, and I'm just sitting there staring at the clouds like, I don't think so. Because it was like a cloudy night too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just kept waiting for like the face to appear in the clouds, and I was just like,
I think that's one thing I do distinctly remember. I mean, of course, I watched Mortal Kombat as throughout my years.
Yeah.
But even from all the way from when I first watched it when I was young, and then as I continued to age, I kind of appreciated that it was kind of not goofy, but you could tell like some of the acting was kind of bad, and just the way they kind of set the tone of it was kind of playful, which was okay. I mean, it is a video game; you can have it right. But the one thing that did bother me the whole time, and I just remember things like they casted Raiden's character so bad.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Christopher Lambert, he's amazing. He's the Highlander.
Let him stay as the Highlander. He was not a good Raiden.
Oh, he was amazing. Are you
Ain't-
kidding me? He's
wasn't
my
he-
favorite.
Also, was he? Did he-
Which will lead into our next.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
Yeah,
No,
'cause,
I'm being serious.
I think I know where you're gonna go with
Really?
your.
I loved because he was like the only guy. Everybody else was taking their role seriously, which is fine because I liked how everybody approached the movie. Christopher Lambert, he knew this was like a joke or whatever, and so that the reason I think you perceive it as bad acting is he just hammed it up. He was the Palpatine of that movie. You know what I mean? Because the guy who played Palpatine in the prequel Star Wars was the same kind of way. You know, he was like, this is a joke. I'm just going to ham it up, you know, and be like over the top ridiculous.
But it did so good. I think he. Well, I don't know. The Star Wars one came across a lot.
I'm
more
just saying that
professional
this could just be a difference of opinions, but
Maybe.
that's
I
how
don't
I
know.
perceived it. I was
Agree to
like,
disagree kind of thing. Yeah.
I have no idea what
So the problem with
she's
this
really
movie,
hot.
this movie needed to do what Mortal Kombat 9 did. Just everyone with huge boobs and like scandalous clothes. That's how we're fixing the movie. Yeah, who's with me?
I was gonna say if we could shift gears back to the trailer, that's one of the things I didn't notice. No scantily clad women.
No, they kind of backed off of that. Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. They're like, yeah, this is kind of excessive, so let's not do that.
Yeah.
And I think
But that's what America wants. Gosh darn it.
it's not dead or alive.
That's
it's
what
just,
that's what men want.
Oh God.
Okay, or women if you whoever really likes that. I am perfectly okay with movies like doing that extra sexualness, because people will watch that. I will watch that.
sex sells. Yeah.
The only thing that I have a problem.
There was a show called The Man Show, and literally had
That's
women
true.
jumping on trampolines.
That's true.
Yeah, but we live in a different time now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be as acceptable.
It wouldn't be as acceptable. I'm saying I do accept it because it's very easy for someone to just be like, I don't like that. You know what you do? You turn it off.
Or
you
if
don't-
you're,
you don't give them your money.
or
It's
if
that
you,
simple.
or if you watch the Shakira, Jennifer Lopez halftime show, you sue because they made you masturbate and you're Christian.
See, that's so dumb. See, that's so. You
But
can
that's
so
my point,
easily
is
just-
that-
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
this
yeah,
was
I
a
get what
real-
you're saying. You're being sarcastic. I get it.
This was a real thing that happened.
No, this is a real thing. No, it did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Someone was suing because the halftime show made me masturbate and I am religious and I can't masturbate. Yeah, it was really stupid.
It made
But see,
you
people like you said,
masturbate?
yeah, you think like, oh, you should just don't watch it.
Yeah,
but
don't
then
support
people
it
will
then.
still watch it and then be like,
Yeah.
oh, you made me. These are
Yeah.
bad thoughts I'm having
like
now.
I'm not like I know we're getting a little off topic, but
Yeah.
I don't like to poo on people's beliefs and stuff. But I mean, like, come on, man. If you're really faithful to your faith,
Right.
you wouldn't just sit there and just be like, it made me do it. That was your choice.
Yes.
But we can get off that
Yeah.
and get back to the fun.
Yes.
Mortal
yes,
Kombat.
Yes. We got my point across. That was
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
Yes.
That was it.
So, but I think there's certain characters like Katana where that would work, but I don't think like Sonya Blade. You can't. She's a police officer. You can't over sexualize her. You
But,
can.
but here's the thing, though, is that like even in the OG movie,
Yeah.
none of the women were like hyper sexualized. I don't think.
I mean, she wore like a
she wore a thing,
a-
but it was
a-
like tasteful.
I don't want to
Yeah.
say crop top. It wasn't a crop top. It's spaghetti strap, but it's another word.
No,
for it.
she was like
You know what I'm
fully.
talking
No, she had like full
top?
clad and maybe like
tank
a.
top, I guess.
Sure, tank top, yeah.
Yeah.
Like her fight ends up being because whatever. they're
Actually,
fighting.
you know what? Too, that ties into the trailer. They gave the new Sonya the same look.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
not-
That's what she is.
Yeah, it's not hyper sexualized or anything.
I'm just saying. I don't think you need to over sexualize. But if you were gonna over sexualize, there are certain characters you go. Melina, I think, in a certain way, I think Melina does have to be over sexualized.
Well,
Because-
the idea is that she's gonna like draw you in and then
Yeah.
Right.
eat
So
your
if they did that
face.
with her, I would completely understand. I don't think it takes away from the story. But certain characters like Sonya and to a degree Katana, I don't think you could do that with because it just it's more distracting than anything. If it doesn't go with what the character is, then
Also noticed, as far as I noticed, a lack of Katana in the trailer.
yes, there's a. I don't know if she's gonna be in it. I'm assuming she is because she's a big part, but also no Johnny Cage as well.
Give me my Johnny Cage. Give me my signed photo.
Johnny Cage is still dead from the second movie, so he's not gonna be in this one. That's
God.
how bad that death was.
You're
That he-
already
Anyways.
already wanting me to move on to the next subject.
So let's get into how we're gonna fix the movie. And
Okay.
I'm gonna start with this. I think the new movie has got it correct. As in, don't focus on the plot too much. What people really want to see from Mortal Kombat is the action. They want to see the fighting. Now, the problem with the first movie was, yes, some of the fights were still good, but I don't think they really built up the fights. Like we saw Sub-Zero, who's probably, if not the most popular character, one of the most popular characters, was barely in the movie.
Of
You
which
could
one? Of the first one?
in the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
Same
but
same
you
thing
know
with
what?
Scorpion. Same. What?
But here's the thing, though, is that like none of the fights were really super long except for the last fight. I mean,
Exactly,
like,
but
the
That's
most
okay. Like you know.
but the most
after a while,
excited,
it's
but the most
annoying.
excited I got was to see the face-offs,
Yeah.
like when they're on the boat and Scorpion shows up and the thing comes out of his hand and what was it, Sub-Zero? He starts freezing up.
Also,
everything.
the snake thing coming out of his hand. I thought that was kind of
Well, I mean, it was the '90s interpretation of his harpoon.
I get it.
or
Right.
whatever, but I remember seeing that scene and being super excited about it, just being like, oh my god, and then like they kind of did all the tropes during the Johnny Cage fight. He does the shadow kick. What was it? Scorpion does the face reveal. He's got the skull. He shoots the fire.
See, yeah, and then like that. It was just like your favorite characters just show up and they die.
Yeah,
That was
well,
basically it.
Well, because to be fair, I think the writers didn't expect it to go as well as they did, so they just crammed as much like kind of
How much fan service as possible?
Yeah, fan
That makes
service.
sense. I think that's where they made the mistake. I think you do have to go into it thinking that maybe there might be another one.
Which is why I like the fact that they actually had some of the
Yeah.
storyline, and what you're saying is kind of like it should be all action.
I'm really curious to see if they're gonna go the tournament route or if they're just gonna go.
The tournament is the story. Okay, all I'm saying is that like if you're gonna do the fan service and all that stuff, which I'll totally be down for because I'm a big MK fan. Just at least have the tournament.
So I think the biggest problem is you had all these characters that fans want to see. And yes, there was a lot of fan service in the movie. But that's the thing. People with Mortal Kombat, you don't really see with the games. You don't really play for the plot. You play for the action. You play for the fighting. I think that's where they needed to go. And I think that was one of the biggest problems that they missed out on the first Mortal Kombat was because you got all these your favorite characters and they're dying right away after like being on screen for 3-4 minutes. I'm gonna take I think they did this with Goro, but I'm gonna take a wrestling term. It's called this thing needed a squash match. Now, a squash match in wrestling is just a quick match where it shows where someone's dominant. I think they needed Scorpion. I think they needed Sub-Zero to be in the movie earlier and like earlier tournament matches and kind of like display how the tournament goes because it's just like there's a tournament. We're not gonna share the rules with you. But just fighting, I think you need to break down how the tournament works.
No, they did. They said
did.
it's a
Mortal
fight to
Kombat
the
1,
death.
yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, it's kind of like there was like a joke like, oh, like is there like a set schedule? Is there like thing?
No. It was all decided by Shang Tsung.
No, because at one point they just fought randomly. Like it was a Katana and Liu Kang, and that was technically an official. At the moment, it was an official match.
Well, he clearly. Well, also too, he's kind of like the ref. He's also like the headmaster. So he saw that they weren't fighting to the death because she was trying to help him out, and so
No, but that was
he
before.
went. This is garbage.
Their first interaction when they first fought each other, he wasn't there.
On
It
the
was like
beach?
it was like in a was it a garden or something they were fighting, and Liu Kang's like, I won't count this. I won't tell anybody about this match. That was technically an official match. But since it wasn't to the death, he's like, I'm gonna let you live. We're gonna pretend like this never happened. So they established.
But also too, like the island they go to have all these matches is Shang Tsung's private island.
But didn't you guys say that like it wasn't even really a tournament? It was more like just good versus bad. Like they were.
It's pretty much to a
sides.
degree, yes. It's the way it was. Like I said, that's what I was saying. They didn't really go into detail in the movie, but the way the tournament works is it's not like it's yes one side versus the other, and once everyone on that side loses, the tournament's over, kind of thing. It's basically if you lose, you're out, and if you win, you keep going until everyone on the other team is eliminated, kind of thing. But I think that's why I think if they like came out. Like, you know how tournaments have an orientation where like someone speaks, explains the rules. I think that would have helped a lot. And during the orientation, you show Sub-Zero. You also show the tension between Sub-Zero and Scorpion because the movie kind of made it seem like they were on the same team. Like they not exactly that they were both working for another realm, but
I'm just saying
they've always hated each other in the games.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is a classic case of the executives didn't know what the game was
Yeah.
about. They asked some intern somewhere,
And that's
they
what
were
we're
like, "Have you heard of Mortal Kombat?" And he went, "Yeah." And it's like, "Okay, tell me about it." And it's like, or some intern came in and went, "Hey, I have a great idea for a movie. If we have the budget for it, this would be really cool because there's this character, just a super fanboy." And some writer went, "That sounds amazing." Then did a line of coke and went, this is how I think the vision should be. Now pass me another line of code.
Yeah. I say, as far as one goes, you don't really have to do. You don't have to do much. You just have to establish characters, and you got to keep the characters that are alive because they will fix 2 as well.
For the most part, I think most of the story works. But yeah, if you explain the rules and stuff,
Yeah.
but it kind of doesn't matter because in 2, the rules they break the rules.
Yeah,
and that's the point of 2.
That's the point of 2. But, like I said, I'll get into 2.
All right.
But let's focus on 1. On 1, there are rules, and you need to establish the rules right out the bat. So just like let them know there's this many people. There's this many people on this team until you guys have scheduled fights. As soon as one side is completely eliminated, then the tournament's over. Yeah.
But to be fair, I think they blew most of their budget on like the CG at the time and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So they didn't really have time to like have like grandiose fights and stuff.
You don't have to, but I'm just saying this just establish tournament rules.
Because that's what I want to see in my fighting game movie.
What I'm doing in 1 is going to help fix 2. So what you do is you establish your characters. You have Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Even though they're on the same team, you still feel that tension between them. You still have Katana on the bad team, even though she's eventually going to defect. You have to add Jade, who's her like sidekick in the games. For a certain, I'm gonna get to why she's in there. And you still keep Kano. You still keep.
Does Jade show up in the second one? I forget.
I don't think she was in the second one either.
Okay.
But I think she was established in the 3rd game by now. I'm just going on a limb because I don't remember if the 3rd game came out when the movie came out. Mm-hmm. But so Jade, I know is a character already. So Jade's going to be in this. I'm going to add Reptile as well on the bad team for certain reasons. And then good team, we stick with Johnny Cage. I think you do introduce Jax, but with same way the first movie's doing it. With he has both his arms. Liu Kang. I'm not going to do Kung Lao yet. Johnny Cage. Who else? Stryker for a certain reason.
Who's Stryker?
Stryker's the worst Mortal Kombat character ever.
See, but here's the thing, though. You would only put Stryker in as like a joke character, and he dies in the first 10 minutes.
There's a kind of, yes. There's a point to this because the problem with the Mortal Kombat characters is because you need deaths. But the people they killed off in the first movie made it so that they can't come back in the second movie.
That's how death works, yes.
Yes, exactly. So my point is you put more characters
thank you, Jose.
Yeah, thanks for that. You put characters that are expendable in the first movie. That way, guys like Sub-Zero and Scorpion don't die in the first movie, and you can't put them in the second movie.
I honestly think that, like, and I agree with your assessment. Like, keep some of the major players for the second movie. Yeah. The second one, honestly, like, this is my first comment about it, is it's so boring. I barely can remember it. They didn't have Cyrax and stuff in the second one. No. That's what I'm saying. That's what would have spiced up.
Was Cyrax in the second movie?
See, nobody can remember it.
I don't think so.
Because the Robo Ninjas would have spiced it up. But anyway.
Okay, but we're getting off. We'll get to 2. Let's finish 1, then we'll get to 2. So eventually, the last 2 people for Shang Tsung are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Mm-hmm. But they decide they're just going to fight each other anyways. Mm-hmm. And Scorpion ends up killing Sub-Zero. Mm-hmm. Now, this is important for the second movie because in the games, Bi-Han, his brother, eventually takes over the Sub-Zero name, so he'll be introduced in the second movie. So we'll still have Sub-Zero in the second movie.
Well, see, that kind of diminishes the role of Liu Kang.
No, it doesn't.
Because he's gonna fight Luke.
Luke King still has his wins.
Because he's still the chosen one.
Yeah, yes. Luke King still has one. You could have him beat Reptile. You could have him beat another lesser known Mortal Kombat character. You could have him beat Katana, but not. So you keep that where he beats Katana but doesn't kill her, kind of thing.
But then bang.
But then that's not Mortal Kombat.
That's why you can't have everyone die.
That's just combat.
It's just okay. There's still deaths, but you can't have everyone die.
Because
that's what
not everybody died in the first.
So in the rules, the fights are not to the death.
I think it's to the death or surrender. You could quit.
Oh,
I don't.
Because even in the games, not everyone dies in the games.
Well, I mean,
then you would have to introduce like friendship and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
but I think we're establishing that in this movie, death is one way to win, but it could also be surrender, where the person gives up before they die, kind of thing. So it's kind of like you could do as like a pride thing. Some people would rather die because it's in pride. They right. I don't want to, So you lose certain characters. You lose Jade. You lose Reptile. You lose the lesser known. You do lose Sub-Zero, but in the sequel, Bi-Han, his brother, comes in and to get his revenge like he does in the games.
Right. I think
so. It eventually comes down. Then you eventually get down to the same. I think you can keep the same ending where they fall. Liu Kang fights and wins, and everyone's happy. You don't go to the immediate foreshadowing to right. What is it? The way the movie ended, they went straight to the second movie, kind of thing.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, you don't go to that. You get some. You still do the teaser with Shao Kahn, but you don't go straight to that. You're gonna let some time pass by between that movie and the second movie. Because in the first movie, I forgot I brought up Jax. So in Jax's match, he also loses his arms in his fight, but you don't replace the metal arms until the second movie. So in the second movie, that's when he shows up with his metal arms now in this canon.
Right.
You still get your Mortal Kombat blood. You still get your fights. You get a lot of deaths. You get characters that actually matter dying, but it's not going to affect your plot for number 2.
Right.
So
Can I make one suggestion on a cast change?
yeah.
Raiden is now played by Sir Ian McKellen.
Dude, way too old.
At the time,
Oh, I was expecting a clap.
no, I'm not giving you a clap for that.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. And it's way above him. It's
Though,
way below
I don't
him.
know.
Oh,
It's way below
okay,
him.
there we go.
yes,
I was about to
yes.
say,
Yeah, it's
you-
way
that's-
below him.
That makes more
All right,
sense.
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah. Christopher Lambert, I think, relishes in the cheesy, which is why he did the Highlander movies in the first place.
The
But yeah.
mistake was they should have got Christopher Lloyd. Like, great Scott, Liu Kang! We need to save Earthrealm.
Oh god.
Liu Kang, once I get this lightning bolt up to 55 miles. Or I'm sorry, 88, not 55. That's like they're on the freeway.
And is it wrong that I want Jackie Chan in the movie?
Is this the new one?
In any of them?
I don't think that's wrong.
Jackie Chan, I don't know.
I don't know.
Man.
I
He's
really
getting
I like
getting
the
up there.
He is getting up there. He is.
Like,
Maybe he can play Raiden.
No.
No,
You know who
that'd
played
be
it? No,
rough.
we're saying Christopher Watkins. Hey, you're talking to my guy Liu Kang all wrong. Do it again, and I'll zap you in the face with the lightning bolt.
I like it. I actually do like that. Just see him with long
No.
white hair.
I got it.
All right.
My God, Outworld is in shambles. The ridiculousness. I must talk to the elder gods. My God.
Okay, now let's move on.
So
To
going on
movie number 2,
So number 2,
starring Sir Ian McKellen. Next to Jackie
it's-
Chan.
You know
I mean,
what?
the-
You've missaid it so many times that, like, what was it? Ian McKellen?
Is
Yeah.
it McKellen?
Yeah, it's Sir
Not
Ian McKellen.
Not McClellan.
No, not McClellan.
It's McKellen.
It's McKellen.
I think it's McClellan.
But I almost wanted to say Culkin because you missaid it so
McCulkin.
many times. I was just like,
It is Sir though. It is Sir.
It is Sir
Yeah.
Ian McKellen.
Yes, and he's earned that title.
Yeah,
okay.
he does.
So for the second movie, start off, you don't kill Johnny Cage in the first 2 minutes of the movie. You don't fucking do that.
That
You
was
just don't
really
fucking
bad.
no. Listen. You don't fucking kill Johnny Cage in the first 2 minutes of this movie.
I do have to say
No,
that.
listen.
No. I'm
don't-
agreeing with you.
okay.
Hold on. Because I remember when Annihilation came out, I was super stoked for the movie.
How old was that when that came out?
It was only like a couple of years after the first one,
like 2
and the
years,
first
I
one
I
think
was
was
really young.
like
97, I think. No, 95. I think the second one's 97.
Oh yeah, I was really really young.
Oh, if it was 97, then I would have been probably closer to 10, not
I don't
5.
know.
as
Jamie,
I-
check the dates. Oh, Jamie's not here
don't have
today.
Jamie
Yeah,
today.
not Jamie today.
Anyway,
Unfortunately.
point of the story.
She's
Point
at
of the
work.
story is that the first thing I thought was, I went, you can't kill Johnny Cage. He was just the actor himself was just so good. He cheesed it up more than anybody else, and I love that
And
character.
correct me if I'm
and
wrong.
the fact that he beat Scorpion, I was just like, you're all right in my book.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In the movie, because it's been a while since I've seen it. In the movie, like after he dies, doesn't he like get like lifted?
Yeah, he
by,
gets
like,
lifted up by a statue.
pyramid or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
he gets lifted up by a statue
That
on
was
the horns
so,
of the statue.
So you already knew the movie was going downhill from
Yeah.
from that point on.
I remember just being so disappointed and being like, no. Like, that was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like, I didn't know the movie because I couldn't comprehend it being so young, but I just sat there going, no, Johnny Cage, he just figured out the shadow kick. Like, what?
That's why you didn't want to die. All right, so going into the second movie, this is taking place like let's go like 2 years. We'll just
Is
go.
this another tournament though?
It's not another tournament.
Thank God.
We're not doing another tournament.
Thank
We
God.
did
No,
that-
yeah, the second movie isn't even a tournament. It's
Yeah, but-
he broke the rule.
But anyways, you start off with basically you see everyone in their lives now. Liu Kang running his clan.
Oh, that's
You
right.
see-
That's right. You have the time gap in
I have
between.
there's a
the-
time
years,
gap
yeah.
in between
Yeah.
mine. So Liu Kang now is with his clan as the guy there. Of course, we introduced to Kung Lao now, who of course you could already sense the rivalry and the jealousy coming from Kung Lao
I would like to see Liu Kang,
Between Kung Lao and between who? Kung Lao and
and Liu Kang.
oh yeah.
but I would like to see that they have like a rivalry bicycle shop
Yeah.
because I think that would be funny.
No, I don't
Just-
think so.
Just because one of his signature moves is the bicycle kick.
Oh,
That's the joke.
I
Is
get
that he
it.
wins Mortal Kombat.
Boom.
Time has passed, and he runs a bicycle shop.
And he does really dumb commercials where it's like karate sayings, like I'm gonna chop these prices in half.
Now we're stealing from Cobra Kai.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
I literally was
That's why I
thinking
said
that.
it.
No. It would be low key. He works in like Chinatown or something.
Why you guys have to be Chinatown?
Because he's Asian.
Wow.
And
All
he probably lives in San Francisco, which I believe he actually does. No, I believe he does in the OG movie.
That might be a stereotype.
It's not a
too.
stereotype. It was the 90s, and that's where it was happening.
So what you're saying is, in the 90s, that's where all the Asians lived.
You know, I'm feeling some toxicity here, like
Toxicity. So, anyways, you see Kung Lao now,
bicycle shop.
and in the Kung Lao runs a competing bicycle shop.
It's
so
like
the rivalry.
It'd be called like Shaolin Bicycle Shop.
Johnny Cage is back to doing movies. Sonya, is still around, but she's visiting Jax in his rehab where it took 2 years, but they built the technology for his arms.
They do that in the second one.
I know, but they don't. It's kind of, this is on screen. That was kind of just like, oh, hey, look, Jax, and he has arms. Cool. We didn't get to see how he lost it or how it happened.
No, I think she does visit him in the lab.
Yes, and it was just random. She just shows up and he's there, like, oh, hey, look, it's Jax. Oh, hey, Sonya. Cool, let's go.
Getting assembled like a Gundam.
Yeah, I think you actually kind of showed a little bit of the rehab process, and like the arms being built, because in this scenario it took 2 years to build his arms. It wasn't just like, here we go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just kind of establishing the life at home. You could even, if you really wanted to. Oh no, this wouldn't make sense. I was like, you could show his baby girl, his daughter, which is in the new games, but technically she wasn't
around.
They wouldn't have known about this because that game came out years after the movie. So. And no, you know what? Fuck it. This is my movie. Know what I know now? Yes, you could tease his baby. You could show a baby girl, which eventually grows up to be, and I forgot the daughter's name already.
See, but you have to figure
Jackie.
Yeah,
Jackie.
I was gonna say that would be fucked up though. That like in the 90s, since they didn't fully grasp the scenario, that it's like it's a baby girl, but she also has metal arms, and it's like. That's not the story. Like what? Was she born with metal arms? Like what happened?
That's the birth defect.
Yeah. The doctors were like, "Here's your baby girl," because like Jax somehow banged his wife with his metal arms, so it like infused into his DNA, and for whatever reason now his daughter
came out as sperm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like
bam, bam, bam.
Honestly, probably the most scientifically sound argument you've ever made.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, have you seen movies in the 90s? I'm just throwing it out there. They have misconstrued so much.
Sure.
All in the name of entertainment.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
it was fantastic.
Yeah. So in the movie, they also kind of show that Johnny and Sonya are dating, and she feels fine now because she caught Kano's died in the first movie. Still sticking with that. Sonya killed him. But now we see Katana, who kind of defected and went to Earthrealm. But oh my god, I kind of hate doing this because I have more information now than they did. But I'm gonna say fuck it and go with the info now. So Sindel gets brought back to life, and Katana sees it. She doesn't know how. She just knows. Oh, my mom is back. This is great. Everyone gets together. Katana's introducing Sindel to all these characters. Mm-hmm. Like, oh hey, this is my mom. Little do they know, Sindel is evil, and it was her way of kind of her being in Earthrealm is kind of what finally lets Shao Kahn and all his minions finally start this invasion, breaking the rules kind of thing.
Well, I mean, the relationship you're describing, they kind of do that in the second one.
Yes, but I know where. Okay, there's a point to this, and I'll get to it.
All
yes,
right.
In the second one, Sindel was evil. But they was supposed, and even in the video games, they made it seem like she was influenced by Quincy. I think it's Quincy. Oh, Quincy, yeah.
Yeah.
So Quan Chi's now in this movie. So Quan Chi brings back. They kind of make it seem like Quan Chi brought her back evil, and that she's brainwashed. So you go into the movie like that. So now the invasion begins. But the invasion.
Are Quan Chi and Shao Kahn working together?
Yes, he's a sorcerer.
Okay.
So
I think he is his sorcerer.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because Shao Kahn's a conqueror. He's trying to conquer all the other realms.
What if we took it a whole different way, and the second movie has nothing to do with Shao Kahn? It's actually more centered around the story of Sub-Zero and Scorpion's clans.
I knew it was like a Spanish name, but they made it kind of Asian. It's Borracho.
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 Like borracho.
Let me see the picture. Let me see the picture.
So he's in this movie. And because you kind of, I do think you kind of have to make an impact right off the bat where someone has to die. Not Johnny fucking Cage. Don't kill Johnny Cage on the first beginning of the movie. Instead, you kill Borracho.
For the rest of you who don't speak Spanish, a borracho is a drunkard.
Yes. So Shao Kahn kills Borracho, establishing himself now. And I think you kind of go with the Mortal Kombat 9 route because to save money on effects, you have the invasion
Save money on.
because we're not going with these cheesy effects. Have the invasion go down in the city. Like we've seen 90 movies where it works, and that way you don't have cheap effects. Where like Outrun, you kind of have to make it look dark and mysterious, and all these creatures coming out. No, have it in the city. Save some money on effects. You don't need them right now.
To be fair, though, like I kind of agree because it was cool to see an animality, but I remember watching it as a kid, being like, I'm so bored right now. Like, when is this movie over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even like when you got the animalities, because it was like 2 seconds. It was like Liu Kang turns into the dragon,
thingy,
and Shao Kahn turns into like a fucking Hydra or some shit, and it's like a 2-second fight, and you're just like, wow, this should have been cool.
Yes.
But
I just
somehow,
remember thinking the CG looking so
Yeah.
ugly.
and I'm just sitting there
So
just
bad.
like, wow, somehow I'm still bored.
So now there's a battle going on in the city. We'll go with San Francisco because I think you guys wanted Chinatown so badly, where Liu Kang sells
That's
this.
not what I said. That's what he said.
So Liu Kang is selling his bikes there. We'll just go with San Francisco where the invasion is taking place. So you could also use I know it's been overdone, but the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, I guess at this point it wouldn't be overdone because this movie's taking place in the 90s.
Yeah.
So this hasn't been overdone yet. So yeah, you can have battles in the Golden Gate Bridge.
And you know
can
what?
have battles in
All the heroes got to ride out on bikes.
Yeah.
Because
Sponsored by
also,
Liu Kang, who's chopping up those deals.
No, he's not.
No. Oh.
Do you know how a bike shop works? It's not a car dealership. Also, this is like mid to late 90s, right?
Yeah.
So he would have owned a bike shop. There would have been a ton of people who are just like, oh man, biking. And then you get all the heroes to get on their bikes, and all of a sudden they're doing like BMXing, like crazy stuff.
And they're fighting while they're on the bikes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is the 90s.
And then they add motors to them. And they're like, guys, this is dumb. Let's not fight with our fists or blades or swords or spears or even guns. We should create this mechanism and this very complicated card game.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
And then play a card game on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Dude, that is such a
Thank you.
niche. That is such a
I thought you were
niche
bringing
joke.
something else up that was bringing back more bad memories. I don't know if everyone remembers the Mortal Kombat Racers.
No.
That was a
I don't
game.
remember
That was
a
really bad.
game?
Yes, that was bad.
That was a
too.
real
Wow.
game.
Yes.
Oh my god. Did they play card games?
They didn't play card games on
Thank God.
motorcycles. Not yet.
Also, who did that? Who did that
They,
bit?
they did, but it was before the discs were invented. So like literally, oh my card! Flying away as they're
I
driving.
need to draw a new one.
But like I'm thinking like Surf Ninja, like it gets to like the cheese factor that's almost like quality, where every fighter gets on a bike and they're like strolling down San Francisco and they're trying to get to like all their fights or whatever. And then of course it only lasts like 2 seconds. We're not talking about like a kids movie, you know what I mean? But it's just like a little bit of cheese. Because to be honest, if I had watched the drab that was Annihilation, and I'm like, okay, Outworld, okay, bad CGI, okay, this. Oh my god, a bike race to the death. Wait, what's happening? Half pipe, not what was it? Half pipe fireball? Like, what's going on?
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
Give us Mortal Kombat on BMXing.
with Yu-Gi-Oh mixed in?
Oh my god.
Give us our Yu-Gi-Oh Mortal Kombat crossover. Come on.
No, you don't want that. We saw that with LucasArts. They actually, after the Phantom Menace came out, they came out with
The
a
speed race, the pod racer game. Is that what you're talking about?
no. They
Oh.
actually came out with a card game. It was
Did they really?
yeah,
That's
it was
bad.
rough.
Okay, so
So,
finish
yeah.
it. Finish it. Number 2. Sorry.
Well,
number 2.
Yeah.
Finish it. I haven't even got to the plot of the movie yet.
Finish it.
Wait, what do you mean you
The
haven't gotten to the plot of the movie?
Genghis Khan.
We don't.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. No, I'm saying they don't go to Outworld. They go to the city.
So now they're battle in the city.
right.
So Raiden has to go recruit members to fight. So the bad side, of course, has Quan Chi now. They have the robot ninjas. Like I'm really having a hard
Cyborg.
time. the cyborg ninjas who have already been we'll establish it at some point. So Smoke will also be a part of this. Already being turned into a cyborg. I'm just gonna so not Smoke because I love Smoke and I actually want him to be on the good team for this. So no, Smoke will be on the good team. Anyway, so yeah,
and then we get Noob Saibot.
We do get Noob because it's important to have Noob. We get Melina, we got Sindel. So now we have an evil team, just a bunch of minions, and they're just causing havoc. So Raiden now has to go and recruit, and one of the persons he recruits is Bihan, who's been training for the last 2 years since his brother's death as the new Sub-Zero. And along with him, Smoke, who is with him as well training. So they both get recruited onto on the good team. So the promise is help us out, and I'll get you in front of Scorpion so you can get your revenge. So yeah, so now you recruit Nightwolf, and you now have a battle.
I just love it. Just like, and then at the end you include Nightwolf. So it's like at the very end.
Nightwolf was in the second movie, but again,
Nightwolf is the Indian character, right? Huh? The White Nightwolf is the Indian character, right?
Yeah,
Native American.
Native American.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm just thinking. No. I'm thinking of this movie that you're describing in my head, and I'm just thinking it's just like all this nonsense is happening, and then at the very end, Nightwolf just kind of shows up, and everybody it just acknowledges him. They're just like, "Oh, hey, Nightwolf, good to see you." Like a weird, like old '80s Transformers movie where it's like, "Oh, and Sound Scream's here." It's just like, what?
Yeah. So again, this is a Mortal Kombat movie. You don't get too complicated. So basically, now the fights are taking place just in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. So you'll have Melina versus Katana at some point. You'll have Kung Lao versus one of the Cyber Ninjas. Mm-hmm. So basically, you just have those. It's again, you're just the movies for the fights.
Whose side is Scorpion on at this point?
He's on Shao Kahn side.
Oh.
There's eventually gonna get to a point where he learns the truth. But then again, eventually it comes down to Shao Kahn versus Liu Kang. Because that's what everyone paid to see.
Yes.
And of course, Liu Kang beats him.
Right.
But at a price. So in the end of the movie, the injuries to Liu Kang in his battle with Shao Kahn he beats Shao Kahn, but it ends up killing him. And Liu Kang dies.
Right.
Along with a few other characters in this movie. I can't go deep into this because we're running out of time.
Spoilers a little. Oh, I think
we're just running a lot of time. So Nightwolf, because of the way the movie's gonna work, Nightwolf dies, Smoke dies, and along with some other people on the bad team, Shao Kahn's dead. One of the final scenes we also get is Bihan confronting Scorpion, and that's when Raiden tells the truth to Scorpion halfway through the battle about Quan Chi and how he tricked them into the rivalry. So it wasn't really Scorpion who killed. Was it the other way around? I can't remember who was said.
Time out. So Raiden's known this information for all this time, and now he says it.
He basically learns it again because I have to kind of fast forward since we're running low on time. Raiden learns this throughout the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he always knew this. It's like Raiden sounds like a real dick.
No, Raiden learns this throughout the movie about what actually happened and how Quan Chi was behind the attacking of the clans and why the Sub-Zero and Scorpion are feuding. At the end of the movie, Sub-Zero basically forgives Scorpion, and their clans have a treaty are aligned again. Mm-hmm. So movie ends like that, but because I have the knowing of post-credit scenes now, I will still tease a 3, and which again kind of steals from the games.
Quan Chi brings back Liu Kang to life. Boom.
We get.
You're so predictable, Jermaine.
Don't tell me you still wouldn't enjoy that.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
So we kind of get a little bit of what happened in Mortal Kombat 9, where a lot of the dead characters are resurrected, including Noob Saibot now.
Oh no! I just wanted to get this last dab in before I say it. Just listening to your rendition of Annihilation, I'm like, holy God, am I watching the Snyder cut? Like, dude, you went hard deep. My brain hurts.
I don't think I even got enough information that I want to because we're low on time and I had to just like get everything in as.
Oh my God! Like,
so
let's get the Jermaine cut. Oh my God!
Quick summary: movie number 1, tournament announce the rules, know who's on what side. See more fights, add more characters, have more meaningful character deaths. Let Scorpion and Sub-Zero survive. Well, let Scorpion survive, kill Sub-Zero at the end, but it leads to second episode where we introduce the other characters, the new Sub-Zero. We introduce Smoke, all that stuff. Yes, again, Outworld is invading Earthrealm da-da-da-da. Liu Kang fights. We have all our fight scenes in the city. We find out Sindel was actually evil the entire time. Not because of brainwashing, because she was just legit evil.
You're just literally recapping the podcast. Just
Yeah. Wrap it up.
Boom.
Wrap it up.
wrap it up.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right.
All right.
If you listened this whole time, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you have a comment to say, just put a comment down there in the comment section.
I already know what the comment section's going to say.
Jermaine cut.
Mortal Kombat on motorcycles.
Jermaine
Yeah.
earned his J1 position on
Yay,
this one.
I'm back to J1.
James and I are tied for 2 and 3.
Closer
I
to
see.
3
I
than
don't.
2.
I don't know about that because like I knew more about it. Like you sat there and were like, "Who's this person?"
Yeah, you really didn't really know much. And you
So-
haven't watched WandaVision, so I'm putting you J3.
Oh, fuck you guys. Whatever. See you guys next time.
Laters.
Later.